My sister-in-law, Anne, was a pampered, foolish beauty, innocently sinful. Once, a male assistant helping her try on shoes accidentally touched her foot. She claimed he had insulted her modesty and demanded to take all the shoes. I paid for them to help her, but she accused me of meddling. Another time, she insisted on hanging her baby from the crib rails to swing it like a pendulum. I warned her it was very dangerous, that the baby would fall. My intervention saved the baby that time. I simply said that tap water wasn't clean. As a result, she gave her baby distilled water every single day, which led to the child getting sick and eventually dying. She blamed me for her child's death, then pushed me down the stairs, killing me. When I opened my eyes, I was back on the day she bought the shoes. "You disgusting man, how dare you touch my foot? Don't you know feet symbolize a woman's modesty?" My sister-in-law, Anne, was pointing at the male assistant's nose, scolding him, her eyes welling up with tears. She was pregnant and wanted to buy a pair of flats. The assistant had shown her several pairs, and she had tried them all. After trying them on, she suddenly erupted in a fit of rage, claiming the assistant had insulted her modesty, and even demanded to take all the shoes she had tried. When the assistant tried to stop her, she declared, "I belong to your older brother. Him touching my foot is harassment. These shoes must be considered compensation. My sister, isn't that right? If this were ancient times, I would have jumped into a well to commit suicide." She shook me, leaving me slightly dazed. I remembered that she had done the exact same thing in my past life. I didn't want to lose face, nor did I want her to continue making a scene, so I paid for them. I considered it a gift to my sister-in-law, but she not only showed no gratitude, but also accused me of meddling. In truth, she was always jealous of me. She thought I should be like her, staying home to care for my husband and children, a pampered wife. Women shouldn't go out and show their faces, but she was envious of my financial independence. Later, after she had her child, her image as a foolish beauty helped her gain a foothold in the family. She would hang her baby in a gift bag from the crib rails, swinging it like a pendulum, rocking it forcefully, shouting, "Fly, my baby, fly." I saw the gift bag was about to tear and quickly stopped her. She said I was overreacting. She insisted that cats were a child's best friend and wanted the cat to sleep with the baby. But that cat had ringworm and had lost all the fur on its tail. I told her the fungus would spread to the baby and quickly carried the cat away. She then accused me, "You made my child lose their only friend." She gave her baby tap water every day. I told her tap water wasn't clean. As a result, she gave her baby distilled water every single day, leading to the child suffering from malnutrition and tragically passing away. I had told her that distilled water lacked minerals and would affect the child's development, but she countered, saying it was my fault for teaching her to do that. "You're jealous of me being a pampered wife, doted on by a man. You didn't want to see me live well, so you killed my child." That night, she pushed me down the stairs. Not a single person in the family sought the truth, only hoping my sister-in-law would bear more children for the family. This was the tragedy of a patriarchal family. Reborn into this life, I decided to respect the fate of others and absolutely never meddle again. I wanted to see, without my intervention, how well they could raise the child. "Sister-in-law, you're absolutely right. He shouldn't have touched your foot. My brother would be heartbroken. How about we call him to come and deal with this?" I don't know what she was thinking, but she immediately launched into a dramatic performance of a domineering CEO's pampered wife, calling my brother. "My baby is being bullied and is so unhappy. Darling, come quickly and help your baby." My brother answered the phone and rushed over. As soon as she saw him, she ran straight into his arms, whining, "Husband, my tummy hurts. He's a bad man." My brother, embodying the domineering CEO, immediately sprang into action, grabbing the male assistant and beating him up. Seeing that the drama had gone far enough, I secretly slipped away to where they couldn't see me and called the police. The police directly took the troublemakers to the station. My brother knew hitting people was wrong, he was scared this time. But my sister-in-law remained arrogant, claiming the assistant had bullied her, then ran back to my brother's side, pouting. The police were speechless at their antics. "He clearly touched my foot without permission. He violated my personal rights. These shoes must be my compensation. That's right. How dare he bully my woman? He must have a death wish." My brother blurted out in front of the police, who showed him no respect. "Order, if you say another word, you won't leave here," my brother finally conceded. My sister-in-law quickly pulled him back. "Good husband, they are mean?" The police looked helplessly at me. They thought I was the only normal person there. Not wanting to clean up their mess, I sided with my sister-in-law. Yes, he clearly sexually harassed my sister-in-law. It's only right for them to compensate us with the shoes. As soon as I finished speaking, my sister-in-law, emboldened, hid deeper in my brother's arms, whimpering. I'm telling you, arguing is useless. If they don't compensate us for emotional distress, then just wait for us to sue. Initially, only money for compensation was needed, but during the fight, they also damaged shoes in the store, so they had to pay for those as well. In the end, my sister-in-law hugged all the damaged shoes and took them home. Back home, my mother glared at my sister-in-law. You act like an imbecile all day long. Can you just stay home and not go out? Husband, my baby is unhappy. Mother-in-law scolded my baby. Oh, mother, don't make a fuss all day. Anne is pregnant, just consider these shoes for Anne. As he spoke, he took a pair of shoes and put them on her feet. I watched my sister-in-law's swollen feet squeeze into the tiny shoes. She still happily admired herself in the mirror, which was truly ridiculous. My mother, unable to do anything about my brother, turned to me. Consider these shoes bought by you for your sister-in-law. Transfer the money to me later. I sneered internally. In my past life, I had done exactly that, paid for them, bought shoes that fit, and in return received only hatred. This life, I would absolutely not make the same mistake again. Sacrificing myself to please their entire family, such a good thing doesn't exist in this world. Mom, you must be the best mother-in-law. Everyone is praising you as the best mother-in-law in the world. I even showed my mother messages in the neighborhood group chat. I had bragged that my mother bought many shoes for her pregnant sister-in-law. Attached were photos of everyone in the group showering my mother with compliments. I joined in, flattering her. The chat group was lively for a moment, then fell silent. My mother was so flattered by me that she was speechless, unable to scold me. I seized the opportunity to add fuel to the fire. Mom, when sister-in-law gives birth to a chubby grandson, I'll prepare a big red envelope. But you also said, we don't even know if it's a boy or a girl yet. What if she gives birth to a daughter? Wouldn't that be a waste of our family's money? My sister-in-law was listening intently. I saw it clearly and deliberately spoke for her to hear. Sure enough, she flared up. You bad people, you bully me. I'm not having any more children. Even punched her own belly. She weighed over 70 kg. Didn't she think she was adorable? My brother, the easiest to deceive, quickly stopped her. Mom, what are you saying? You've angered Anne. My mother, seeing her son protect his wife like that, also got angry. It's true. Look at that round belly, and lately she's been eating spicy food. It's clearly a girl. My mother had just finished speaking. I was still trying to recall if her words were consistent with my sister-in-law's situation. I quickly fled the battlefield. After the lessons of my past life, I had lost all hope in this family. I had invested all my money in a fund. Just as I was wondering how to escape this family, my sister-in-law suddenly called, asking me to accompany her. After meeting her, she mysteriously took me to an old apartment complex. Inside, it turned out we were going to see a fortune teller. My sister, do you think this fortune teller can help me have a son? I heard she's very effective and can even choose the baby's appearance. I want to choose a tall, handsome look for my son. My sister-in-law was truly naive. Whether a child is a boy or a girl is determined by the man. The baby was already in her womb, yet she thought she could rely on a fortune teller to change its gender, let alone its appearance. With my brothers and sister-in-law's genes, even if they combined all their best features, they wouldn't be particularly attractive. But I wouldn't interfere. I went along with her words. Sister-in-law, if you're truly sincere, the heavens will surely grant your wish. Yes, my belly will definitely give birth to a baby boy. The fortune teller chanted incantations, burned talismans, mixed them with water, and made my sister-in-law drink it. I watched, disgusted. Then she chanted more incantations. The fortune teller said, the deities have heard your prayer, but you must spend money to buy a cinnabar bead bracelet. Only then can the deities always bless you. My sister-in-law looked at me, wanting my opinion. Sister-in-law, spending a little money is fine. As long as you can continue the family line, this money is nothing. Brother will certainly be willing to pay for you. My sister-in-law nodded, generously placing money on the table. As long as this baby can be a boy, this money is nothing. Later, there will surely be great blessings. The fortune teller took out a pile of talismans, telling her to burn one and drink it every day, guaranteeing she would give birth to a chubby grandson. I glanced at the talismans, which were clearly just to fool idiots. The paper even had cinnabar writing on it, yet my sister-in-law dared to believe. As she left, she bowed 3 times to the Buddha statue. "My sister, I'm doing this for your family's lineage. Don't you have any sincerity?" I understood. She wanted me to pay. "Sister-in-law, don't worry. As long as you give birth to a son, you won't lack money." I gave her a knowing look, and she seemed to understand. "By then, you'll not only have to prepare a red envelope for the child, but also a longevity bracelet. It must be gold." She was truly asking for too much. In my previous life, I had complied with everything, then died with open eyes. This life, she still wanted my things. She was dreaming, but I still agreed, just to keep her calm for now. After returning home, my sister-in-law actually secretly drank the fortune teller's talisman water. Not only that, she also frequently drank vinegar in front of my mother. Her teeth became so sensitive she couldn't chew anything. "My baby has a toothache." I took my sister-in-law to see a doctor. The doctor told her to eat less sour food. My sister-in-law jumped up and scolded the doctor for being unethical and not letting her have a son. After a series of my sister-in-law's actions, the baby was born prematurely in the 8th month. The baby was indeed a boy, but looked small and jaundiced. I just glanced at him and didn't care anymore. But my mother wanted me to help with the postpartum confinement. I resolutely took out the talisman I had obtained from the fortune teller. "Mom, recently I've been in a conflicting astrological cycle with my nephew. If I harm him, it won't be good. Then hurry up and leave. If anything happens to my grandson because of you, I won't forgive you." I quickly ran off, afraid they would discover the truth. In my past life, I had cared for them diligently, but no one ever said anything good about me. So, I fabricated this excuse. In this life, nothing about them concerned me. After the baby was born, his health was indeed very weak. My sister-in-law went back to the fortune teller to get a pile of talismans, and she wanted to give the baby a bowl of black, murky water every day. Moreover, she would burn 3 incense sticks next to the baby until they burned out, the smoke making the baby cough severely. The cat with ringworm still slept with the baby every day. "My baby's best friend, you two must grow up well. Mommy loves you." My sister-in-law not only tormented her child, knowing she had given birth to a son, her pampered nature resurfaced. Every day, she would order my mother to do this and that, and if it wasn't done well, she would start crying, calling my brother, calling my father. Then they would call and scold my mother. My mother had probably had enough and called me back. Just as well, I also wanted to see how well she could raise the baby without my intervention. When I arrived, my sister-in-law and brother had just come out of the room. "Husband is so bad, my baby is almost exhausted." My sister-in-law's face was flushed. They had just given birth but showed no restraint. I went to see the baby. That cat was right next to him. I remembered this cat hadn't been vaccinated or dewormed. She just left it next to the baby. "What?" Jealous. "You should also get married soon and have children for your husband's family. Only then can a woman fulfill her value." My sister-in-law looked at me smugly, then picked up the baby to breastfeed, but she didn't have much milk left. "Ah, bad daddy, why didn't you leave some milk for our baby?" As she spoke, she wiggled her little feet, her face both embarrassed and adorable. I was horrified to hear that. What kind of preferences did they have? At this moment, my brother also came over and stroked the baby's face. "You stinky brat, grow up fast. Only daddy is allowed to bite here, understand?" "Husband, I'm so shy." They showed no restraint with anyone around. I was still there. I quickly left the room, afraid of being disgusted by the two of them. They dallied in the room for over half an hour. It wasn't until the hungry baby screamed that they came out. "Baby, why are you crying again? Mommy just fed you." In reality, she hadn't fed him much. My brother said he would soothe him, claiming this trick was most effective. He picked up the baby and tossed him high. "Fly, my baby, fly." The baby was only a month old. His spine wasn't fully developed. I didn't know how much harm he was doing to the child. My sister-in-law still stood by, praising my brother for being strong and capable. "The baby is so young. Do you, as a mother, have any sense?" My mother-in-law scolded the baby. Although the baby is not at fault, if mother-in-law scolds the baby will hear everything. My mother was fed up with my sister-in-law's pouting, because whenever she felt wronged, my brother would protect her and criticize my mother. "Mom, don't scold anymore. She's already very tired taking care of the baby." Helpless, my mother had to give in to her. Taking advantage of their inattention, I looked closely at the baby again. He had already contracted ringworm. The mouchion wasn't very obvious, but it was already tending to spread. My sister-in-law still happily let the cat sleep with the baby every day. But not long after, trouble struck the family again. My brother and sister-in-law were intimate, and discovered she had no milk left. The whole family rushed to the hospital in a panic, and it turned out my sister-in-law was pregnant again. The baby had just been born barely a month ago, and she was pregnant again. The doctor told her to have an abortion, but my sister-in-law declared it a gift from heaven and wanted to give birth. Not only did she want to give birth, but she also wanted twins. So, she went to find the fortune teller again for a ritual. The fortune teller not only gave her a pair of talismans, but also taught her a new trick. The fortune teller told her not only to burn talismans and drink the ashes, but also to eat a little cinnabar every day, guaranteeing she would give birth to 2 chubby grandsons. But very soon, something else happened, not to my sister-in-law, but to the baby. He had diarrhea and a high fever leading to convulsions. The whole family rushed to the hospital. After the doctor understood the situation, he was speechless. It turned out my sister-in-law had been giving the baby tap water all this time. The doctor told my sister-in-law, "Tap water isn't clean, you can't give it directly to a baby. You must boil it, let it cool, and then give it to the baby." I don't know how my sister-in-law heard it, but she only remembered the phrase, "Tap water isn't clean," and ran to the fortune teller to ask for rootless water. This rootless water was collected rainwater in mineral water bottles. I saw it was rainwater, smelled strange, and even had a greenish tint in the bottle. It was even dirtier than tap water. My sister-in-law used this water to mix formula for the baby, using 5 or 6 bottles a day. My brother's monthly salary was only 5,000 yuan. Finally, my mother couldn't bear it anymore and bought a bunch of bottles online, telling her to give the baby distilled water. Distilled water is clean but stripped of all essential minerals for the body. Even adults shouldn't drink distilled water regularly, let alone babies. "Mom, why are you unwilling to spend this small amount of money for your grandson? Rootless water is good for the baby. He can grow up healthy later." "How dare you say that? If you weren't making a fuss all day, why would the child be sick?" It was clearly the responsibility of both of them, but my brother always hid, transforming into a domineering CEO to protect my sister-in-law. But this time, perhaps because his wallet truly couldn't take it anymore, he gently advised my sister-in-law, "Baby, listen to Mom. She's raised 2 children. She certainly has more experience than us." My sister-in-law grudgingly agreed. Later, my mother, seeing that the baby was small and unhealthy drinking formula, but unable to force my sister-in-law to abort the baby in her womb, somehow found raw cow's milk directly squeezed from a cow. Did they truly not know that unpasteurized cow's milk contains many bacteria? They just gave it to the baby to drink. As my mother fed the baby, she said, "Good grandson, drink up, grow big and strong. Back in the day, your aunt didn't even have formula, only rice water. Our family dotes on you so much, you must become a pillar of the family later." I shuddered. Of course, I didn't remember my childhood, but my mother treating me this way didn't surprise me. The mindset of raising children to rely on them in old age was deeply ingrained. She always thought I would marry sooner or later. Once married, I would belong to another family, so she didn't want to exert any effort on me. Yet she was clearly a woman herself, but she looked down on women. How ridiculous. Days passed like this. My sister-in-law drank talisman water and ate a little cinnabar. The 2 of them still showed no restraint. My mother gave the baby distilled water every day and secretly gave him cow's milk. I didn't want to participate in their lives. I stayed far away, each time using the excuse of my conflicting astrological cycle with my nephew to avoid getting close to them. I had applied for an overseas business trip from my company for 6 months. By then, I would directly move abroad. Since I no longer wanted this family bond, it didn't matter where I was. Let them make a mess of things later. The next time I saw the baby was 6 months later. His back had developed many fungal spots, a severe case of ringworm. I looked at the poor baby, still couldn't bear it, and asked, "What's wrong with the baby? Haven't you taken him to the hospital?" My sister-in-law's answer astonished me. "Oh, the fortune teller said it's a Buddha mark, a symbol of divine protection." I was horrified. How could people be so ignorant? That red, peeling thing growing on her child's body, she actually believed it was a Buddha mark. Ignorance is truly terrifying. I said nothing more. Good advice is hard to give to those who are determined to self-destruct. Let her do as she pleased. The baby needed a bath. My sister-in-law called me to help. I was afraid of catching the fungus. I took out gloves from the kitchen. My sister-in-law saw them and was displeased. "What are you doing? My baby has a Buddha mark on him. Don't you want to get a Buddha mark?" "Sister-in-law, have you forgotten? I clash with my nephew. What if I touch the baby and make the Buddha mark disappear? That makes sense. Oh, you're truly a foolish beauty. How do you keep forgetting this? You too, hurry up and get married to ward off bad luck. Whatever my sister-in-law said, I agreed, absolutely refusing to interfere. Then my sister-in-law took a bath towel to wipe the baby. My baby's bath towel is washed. I can only use husband's bath towel. Wipe him clean. My mouth twitched. The fungus was spreading. My sister-in-law even boasted in her new mother's group that her child was blessed by deities. She took pictures of her huge belly every day to show off. A kind mother enthusiastically told her that her child had ringworm and needed to be taken to the hospital quickly. But she didn't listen. She even complained that they wanted to harm her child. My sister, tell me, why are they so malicious? They clearly don't want to see my child live well, and they even curse my child with ringworm. Do they even understand what a Buddha mark is? Sister-in-law is right. They just want to harm our baby. Our baby has the deepest blessings. As soon as I finished speaking, I quickly ran off, mainly afraid of catching the fungus. A few days after I left, the family called, saying the house was in chaos and told me to come back quickly. I saw my mother smashing all the dishes in the house, scattered everywhere on the floor, and my sister-in-law crying. It turned out that because she had used my brother's bath towel to wipe the baby, she had also contracted the fungus. My sister-in-law insisted it was a Buddha mark and told my brother to endure it, but my brother wasn't foolish. If he was uncomfortable, he would say so. That's how my mother found out the child had ringworm. My sister-in-law had hidden it from the whole family. My mother recognized the fungus and wanted to take the child and my brother to the hospital. My sister-in-law disagreed, saying the hospital was a place of heavy negative energy which would affect the child's blessings. She absolutely refused to go, so they fought. My sister, you're the most understanding person in our family. Come and arbitrate. Tell me, does mom want to harm my child? Sister-in-law, how could mom harm our baby? This is her beloved grandson. My mother, hearing someone support her, finally got angry and jumped up, scolding my sister-in-law for being an idiot. My baby is being scolded again. My baby is sad inside. It was this trick again. It always worked. My mother gave in again. I quickly pulled my mother back. Mom, our baby has good fortune. Look at his loud cries, so masculine. Sister-in-law understands our baby best. If she says he's fine, he's definitely fine. If you ruin his blessings, you'll be the sinner of our family. In the end, my mother failed, and I quickly fled the battlefield again, feeling that house was becoming increasingly sinister. Later, my mother called me, saying my sister-in-law had also contracted ringworm. Initially, she tried to endure it, but later, she couldn't take it anymore and went to see the fortune teller again. The fortune teller gave them a secret remedy, telling them to apply it to their bodies. I had to say that fortune teller was a fraud. My mother asked me to guess what the remedy was. What? Chicken fat. My sister-in-law's bizarre actions once again refreshed my perception of the world. It's the first time I've heard that chicken fat can treat ringworm. Your brother doesn't listen to me either. He's completely infatuated with your sister-in-law. She's truly a vixen. The three of them applied chicken fat to their faces and bodies every day, their faces black and greasy. As soon as you entered the house, the entire room reeked of chicken fat. My mother urged me to persuade them. I, of course, refused, wanting to use the conflicting astrological cycle trick again, but my mother said if I didn't come back, she would come to my company and cause a scene. Fine, I didn't want to lose face, so I had to go back. As soon as I stepped through the door, a strong smell of chicken fat assaulted my face. I almost vomited. Seeing the three of them, I was even more disgusted. Their faces were covered in greasy chicken fat, and not just their faces, even the white walls were stained with chicken fat. What new kind of bullying was this? I suppressed my nausea and spoke. Mom, let me see you. Oh, I really couldn't hold it in. It was too disgusting. My sister, you're truly unlucky. This is a blessing from the divine. Why are you vomiting? You really can't enjoy any blessings. If my mother hadn't forced me, I wouldn't even have wanted to step foot in that house. My sister-in-law said that ever since the baby received divine protection, he had been much livelier than before. She wanted to play with the baby. And so, the scene from my past life was reenacted. She held a gift bag, hanging the baby from the crib rails to swing him like a pendulum. I'm truly a smart beauty, knowing how to save money for my husband. Fly, my baby, fly. She swung him hard, one swift movement after another. The rails wobbled on the verge of collapsing, and the bag even made a tearing sound. Sure enough, the gift bag ripped, and the baby fell heavily to the ground with a loud thud. Ah, I'm so stupid. Why did my child fall? I saw that fall must have been very serious. The baby didn't cry after falling to the ground but lay silently on the floor. She didn't think to quickly pick up the baby to check on him. Instead, she rushed into my brother's arms, whining, "Husband, hug your baby, I'm so scared." It was still my brother who noticed something was wrong and quickly took the baby to the hospital. The baby had an intracranial hemorrhage, compounded by a series of the family's previous actions and many other illnesses, such as acute gastroenteritis. My sister-in-law suddenly remembered me, rushing forward to grab me. "It's all your fault. You killed my child. You must pay for my child's life. You are the jinx of this family. It's because you refused to get married that you brought bad luck to the family." Perhaps due to her extreme agitation and pregnancy, she fainted. Both the baby and she were admitted to the hospital. When my sister-in-law woke up, the doctor asked, "What do you usually feed your child?" "Milk and formula." "Impossible." "Must have eaten something unclean. Think carefully." "Impossible. My family eats the cleanest food, formula mixed with distilled water. Milk is fresh cow's milk, squeezed directly from the cow." "What?" The doctor had never heard of such a horrifying thing. She couldn't believe it was the 21st century and yet someone still lacked basic life knowledge. "Why are you using distilled water? Use tap water." "Yes, it was you. I remember now. You told me tap water wasn't clean." The doctor was speechless. "I told you tap water wasn't clean, but I also told you to boil tap water, let it cool, and then mix formula with it. Why didn't you listen?" My sister-in-law was stunned for a moment, then shrank into my brother's arms. "My baby is so silly, my baby doesn't know anything." The doctor looked at my sister-in-law, whose face was still covered in chicken fat, pouting, and rolled her eyes. She didn't care about baby or not, only told her that the baby needed to fast from food and drink, then left. When the baby woke up, he was probably hungry. He whimpered for food. My sister-in-law began her mindless actions again. "My baby must be hungry, but the doctor said no food or drink. That probably means no rice or water, but eating fruit should be fine, right? Sister-in-law, I don't know what the doctor said. Listen to me. You've really read books until you're stupid. How can you not know anything?" As she spoke, she tried to feed the baby grapes. The baby had barely eaten 2 pieces before he choked, immediately having difficulty breathing. His body turned purple. The doctor rushed to perform emergency aid but couldn't save the baby. This time, my sister-in-law was stunned, crying hysterically, claiming the hospital had killed her child. My mother called all her relatives to the hospital to cause a disturbance, demanding the hospital provide an explanation and compensation. My brother went mad, wanting the doctor to pay with his life. He grabbed a knife, injured the doctor, and was then arrested by the police. So there was no compensation. My brother was also arrested. My sister-in-law seemed to have suffered too great a shock. The baby in her womb miscarried. Afterwards, the family again blamed the hospital, saying they intentionally caused my sister-in-law to miscarry out of revenge. I heard this and found it laughable. Doctors save lives? Why would a doctor seek revenge on my sister-in-law? My sister-in-law drank talisman water and ate cinnabar all day and showed no restraint in her intimacy. The baby being able to stay in her womb for over 5 months was already a blessing. The hospital didn't concede to them, directly presenting evidence. Even if the family sued the hospital, they couldn't win because this matter truly had nothing to do with the hospital. "It's okay, my baby still has a way." My sister-in-law said she had a way to continue looking for the fortune teller and ask her to perform rituals. The fortune teller took 100,000 yuan from my sister-in-law, guaranteeing that within 3 months, the baby would return to her womb. My mother watched my sister-in-law very closely, afraid she would cheat on my brother. But my sister-in-law made no moves. She stayed quietly at home for 3 months. Every day on time, she ate cinnabar, drank talisman water, and even stopped applying chicken fat, praying for the Buddha mark to bestow blessings. 3 months passed, and she began to worry because her belly showed no signs of activity. She ran to find the fortune teller, who had already fled. "My 100,000 yuan, my 100,000 yuan, she cried hysterically. "What money?" My sister-in-law recounted the entire situation to my mother. My mother was so angry she wanted to kill someone, slapping her several times. You jinx, I shouldn't have let my son marry you." I felt the drama had ended. My company also announced that my application for an overseas business trip had been approved. I was preparing to leave this place. In the evening, someone knocked on my door. I didn't think much and opened it. My sister-in-law rushed in with a knife. In this life, I had not participated in any of her affairs. Why was she still blaming me? It's all your fault. You killed my child. You must pay for my child's life. You are the jinx of this family. It's because you refused to get married that you brought bad luck to the family. Because of the lessons from my past life, I had intensified my training. My sister-in-law was quickly subdued by me. She wasn't truly blaming me for harming her child, she just wanted to find an excuse for her own ignorance. I resolutely called the police. While making the report, I realized that only my mother held the keys to my house. The keys weren't secretly taken by my sister-in-law. My mother had actively given them to her. My sister-in-law had said that if my mother didn't give her the keys, she would divorce my brother. My mother was afraid my brother would go to prison. It would be difficult to find a wife after getting out of prison, and she also didn't want to spend money looking for a wife again. So, she chose to sacrifice me to complete my brother to ensure the continuation of the family line. How ridiculous. Now it's great. My sister-in-law is also in prison. What else is there for me to miss? I took the earliest flight abroad. Later, I saw news on television that the fortune teller had been arrested and imprisoned in the same jail as my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law finally realized her mistake then, knowing she had been deceived. She killed the fortune teller in the cell, but she was released and committed to a mental hospital. My brother was imprisoned for 2 years, then released, having lost his wife, his child, his job, and his money. Now no one wanted to marry him. He had to live alone, drifting through life in a daze, and somehow got involved in gambling. Gambling only leads to losses. He even spent all of my parents' retirement money. Finally, he was beaten by creditors, breaking his legs, and was bedridden for the rest of his life.